Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tina and it's a wonderful day to be creating with you. I say wonderful because it's not quite beautiful outside. Autumn is my favorite time for crafting because I feel like the weather changes and I just want to be inside. You know, maybe the smell of soup with crafting is like my perfect recipe for happiness. But I am here to share with you card 2 of our, we have 5 cards, 50 card workshop for Christmas. All these fabulous cards you will be making with this project guide. So this guide is, I created this guide and there's a manual cut. It's a manual cut guide, but it does have some Cricut components that are available as well. And there's a full Cricut file. You would just use more paper. You know, for the Cricut version. We all of us Cricut users know the Cricut loves to eat its paper. It feels so full and yummy. All right, so on this one here, you can see that this dotted kind of stitched circle in the background. I did that with the Cricut and I just wanted to make sure that I did one card. In the guide, it will tell you you're supposed to cut these with your thin cuts. You could always take your journaling pen and draw some dashes around it like that. I thought this was just a fun little extra to put in there, but it definitely is not necessary. Okay, let's go ahead and dive in and create this card 2 of our series. I'm going to real quick show you the 1 through 5 and I'll link all the videos in all of the in each video description. I'll make sure that the other videos are linked. So here's card 1. We're going to be doing card 2. This one is card 3. This one here is card 4. You can do with or without the shaker. And then card 5 is an awesome special bonus that has lots of fun tips and a special announcement with that one. So that one's pretty cool. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this together. So by the time you get to this point, you should have done all of your cutting, all of your thin cutting and almost all your stamping should be done. This is more of the assembly video. But I am sharing some tips on how I did some stamping and laying things out with each video. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is get our stamping out of the way by grabbing our stamp. Now this kit, all the materials and supplies are in the guide and I'll put information on the guide as well, but all of these cards are featuring the Christmas Florals embossing folder and stencil, as well as the holiday banners stamp and thin cut set. And like I said, 50 cards, 10 of each. So all the good stuff. All right, instead of flipping my Versamat over, I'm just going to use the little gouge. I call it the gouge that comes with our stamp set. We're gonna grab pine. There's only 3 inks featured in this entire kit. I like to keep the supplies limited and do more with less for this, so it worked out really well. All right, we're gonna grab the frame from the top here. And we're just gonna add that to our block and stamp that off and not really worry about the stitching. Let it go over the stitching and just pop it in there and have it look fantastic. And we want it a little high. And we want that a little high so we can fit that pretty little heart at the bottom. Because we have 50 cards, we needed extra bling. So we're using 2 kinds of bling in this workshop and we use plenty of it. There you go. Okay, we're gonna swap to our scarlet. And the other thing is you can change. I stamped the sentiments that I liked, but guess what? You can change those sentiments to anything you want them to be. So if you want to do them all with 'Tis the Season, you got it. Scarlet, we have 'Tis the right here. And just a couple seconds so that we allow the ink to absorb in. All right, and we'll grab the season. And you can see my stamp has already gotten quite a bit of love. And these just fit in there perfectly. And you can just keep adding more details. This is one detail. The Cricut is one detail you can do to kind of take these up a notch. There's a base level, and then there's kind of like more of a top shelf level that's available for each one. So for this one here, it's for all the cards, it's the gold glitter. The gold glitter is an option for you. They're all 1/8 of an inch strips. So great to use. They add just the perfect amount. I love an 1/8 of an inch strip of glitter. Okay, so and then the other one for this one is if you wanted to just do the circles even on your with design space and have that done. If not, you could, you know, draw in your little stitches or anything like that. Okay, so this is already embossed. This is from the mix-ins, and it is already through the embossing folder. And I'm just going to grab my sanding block. I have found that these sanding blocks, which come from the hardware store, are my current favorite. I've been trying different sanding things, but I really like these, and they seem to last forever. We're going to expose some of the white core paper. It's one of the reasons why I love the white core paper. I have several, but we're going to go very softly. Just lay it down and kind of go out, but we want to turn it. Make sure you don't just focus on the edges. You can, you know, get in the center, and I like this because it has the sides too. But we want to make sure that you reveal enough, okay? So I'm going to just kind of go this way, turn it a little bit, and now I'm going out to the corner, towards straight to the corner, straight to this corner, a little bit this. Now the inside. Now you can, if you sand a little too hard, you can leave sanding marks. So this just does a really nice job. And I'm just doing little, we don't want to go back and forth. It'll take off too much. We still want to know it's a black piece of paper. We just want to expose some pretty stuff. There we go. You can take more off, but you cannot put it back. I think, let's get some right here. I have just the tiny tip going on there, so I got to do a little bit more. There we go. I think I'm going to like it. That's one of the reasons why I like these blocks so much. I stole it from my husband. I didn't really steal it, okay? I confiscated it. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and put this together. So all these cards feature a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 cover piece for the front, because our card bases are white daisy and I focused on French vanilla. So whether you're covering it with the card pieces that are in 1, French vanilla that are 2, and I think pine is the 2, it really just adds an extra layer, but it just makes these cards a little bit more special, I think. There you go. Okay, so now we're going to add our pieces, and these are all from the Mix-Ins collection, and I am so happy to say 50 cards from 1 pack of paper, from 1 pack of Mix-Ins. It's a challenge that I do each year, and I love to share it. All right, we're going to leave an 1/8 of an inch all the way around on this black piece. And I had shared in video 1 that something you can do is trim your gold. But if you don't want to trim your gold and you're going to be putting it on, I highly suggest that you do it before you add the piece. This gold, if you're adding the gold, the 1/8 of an inch gold strip, it goes on top of the mink mix-in. I left my my glue without its little pin in it. There we go. I do it all the time. All right, so I'm just getting a real small amount right across the top. You could also put it on your glitter. There you go. And I'll be doing all of the versions of the cards with the more top shelf level. I did all 50 with, you know, the higher. I like them. Why not? I did all the shaker cards. I did it all. Okay, so we'll put that aside and just let that dry for a minute. That way we can work with it. All right, we'll be using the other side. So adhesive on the check. This will, you just put it up against the other one and it should be good to go. There we go. All right, and just to give my my glue an extra little minute to dry, I'm just going to talk about the thin cuts. There is a quick list. I love this as part of the guide that tells you just run right through your thin cuts, because so many of these thin cuts are in French vanilla that hopefully your die cutting machine will let you do 2 at a time, but you can just put all your thin cuts out at one time. So just grab the whole thing and start cutting it. And then the first one you're going to reach is the banner. You then take the banner off and you just keep cutting, but you have lots of scrap paper, and there's extra paper in the kit with the supplies that have been ordered. Okay, so I really do not want to peel all of this. We're going to be tucking pieces, so it's real important for me that we have one little piece to put down so that I can tuck the rest. So I'm just going to peel this little piece right here. All right, and that's what I'm going to work with. All right, we're going to grab our 'Tis the Season. And this is going to go, I want to make sure I get all your measurements correct. From the edge of your card, it's 1 inch. So that's from the edge of the card base. So I'm just going to line it up on my Versamat here. And now that it's in my Versamat, on the grid, I can just go, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I know that, I'm looking for it to be here. That little dovetail portion, I'm going to kind of put right here where the 2 lines are, but it is forgiving. So if you're, a little more one way or the other, it's going to be forgiving. All right, I should have put this on first, but I know I don't have adhesive at the bottom. So if you put a lot of adhesive on that, you'll have to slide this underneath. As I'm trying to multitask, everybody. You can always peel that off if you like. I'm going to be able to just kind of slip it right underneath there, see? All right. There we go. And that's going to go, and it'll leave a border there for you all around your card. Okay, and then we have that piece that we've pulled. And I don't want to cover the sentiment. For each one, I've been trying to pay attention to where I put the longer leaf of the poinsettia, if you will. And so we're just going to kind of frame the season with the poinsettia, getting it nice and close, not covering the sentiment, but popping it on there like that. These we'll put just some regular adhesive on. We have 2 leaves that are stamped in toffee and 2 berries in scarlet. 3 inks, that's it for the whole kit. And all the cards have turned out so nice. All right, for this one here, we're going to put it between this one and this one, and we want it on the circle. You can put it as much on the circle or off the circle as you would like. This is another one where you could have just used pieces of glitter paper like I featured in the first one. In between this leaf and this leaf, or petal, excuse me, this petal and this petal, and in between this petal and this petal. All right, now we're going to grab our bling, and this is the red dots, and we're using lots of these. You'll see I have used quite a bit of these, and we are going to do a heart right down here. Now, you can use your scarlet hearts and your candy apple hearts as you work through all your cards. That's what I did, and you'll see as I share the other bling that I'm trying to grab, you can see we've used the dots, we used the stars, we used the colored sequins, or excuse me, the colored sparkles. And this one I felt needed none. So you will have some extra left over if you want to play with that. I'm going to grab a medium, grab this medium scarlet one right here. But so all your cards will not have the same heart, but I will share and show how I swapped those hearts up with the candy apple, and they looked just fine. I'm a little crooked, as in life. There we go. Okay. I love how these cards have turned out, and I have really enjoyed making them. Tips-wise, I just assembly lined them and did 1 piece at a time so that I could maximize my time, but also so that I could keep leaving and coming back. If I was only focusing on just doing the black piece, and I had to do that 10 times, I was able to do that. And if I had to go do something, I could come right back and know I was just sanding all the black pieces. And then after they were all done, when I put them together, I put all the bases on first, that 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then I put all the black pieces on, all the gray pieces, so on and so on. Okay, so you can see my wonderful basket of Christmas cards that I have that are all ready to go out. And I'm going to add this beautiful card to my awesome set of Christmas cards. I do hope that you guys will enjoy crafting these. I try to come up with a new Christmas card workshop every Christmas season. And I'm so excited that I'm able to get them out in October of this year and have them all ready to go. I know many of you have already ordered your supplies as I released the list early. Feel free to leave me a comment. But if you like this video, you like the artwork, you found it helpful, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. It really does help me here in the YouTube community. Thank you guys so much for letting me share some crafty time with you. Bye-bye.